Scamps, welcome to episode 5, I think.
Oh, for the
I've
love.
already failed. I didn't write it down. Flipping heck. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. Welcome to another shiny episode of Stace and Barry in the morning. Woo! I am the Stace half of Stace and Barry, and joining me as ever is my delightfully handsome, lovely, splendid, tip-top gent co-host. He's looking around as if he doesn't think he's handsome. He knows he is.
I
It's
know I am.
Barry.
I
Hello.
am. Hello, it's me, it's Barry. And yes, I am. As we discovered as we were recording earlier, talking earlier, that yes, I am handsome. I'm owning it.
Yeah. I feel good today because I am wearing knitwear, and that makes me quite happy because I like knitwear.
Is it
We,
Captain America knitwear?
it is Captain America knitwear, and it's sort of a cricket jumper,
Yeah.
which is why I'm wearing a t-shirt underneath, because when you don't, it's a little bit on the sort of boobular side. Anyway, uh, we've got a guest today.
Is
B,
that
do you
like
want to
tubular bells?
introduce
Sorry.
boobular
Tubular.
jumpers?
Yes. God. Anyone would think we're
Woo!
professional and we've done this before.
Oh, actually, before you introduce our guest, can I also just say that there's like so many fireworks going off around by me. So if you hear insane bangs, that's what it is. I'm not up to anything nefarious that you can't see. It's
Okay.
just frivolities outside.
It's good to know. I've not heard, I can't hear anything, to be honest.
Okay. Well, let's do a podcast and see how we go.
Okay. So, yes, we do have a guest. And our guest is the lovely and extremely talented Rachael Smith. Cool.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I I do wonder because we've never had a guest on Stace and Barry before, and I don't know how guests will take our nonsense.
I
Have
like
we?
nonsense.
Yeah, have we never had a guest on before?
Not on Stace and Barry, I don't
Haven't we?
think. I don't
Oh,
believe so. No,
okay.
it's
You've
very
discussed
exciting.
me on Stace and Barry, I believe.
That was
A long
probably
time
you,
ago,
because you read a lot more
possibly.
comics than I do, because I'm a terrible
Yeah.
human being.
And obviously, I did a panel with Dave, and I did a panel with Rachael
Yes.
many years ago. I can't remember what the convention was.
No, neither can I. It was with me and Rachel Stott.
Yes, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still every so often I go back and watch it. It's still one of the funniest panels that I've ever done with Dave. We often talk about it, Dave and I, because when we get going, Dave and I tend to be quite a force of nature in terms of panel hosting, and that's probably one of two panels where like we were pretty much sidelined.
Oh dear. Hey, shall we? Do you want to do some segments, B? Shall I bust out some
Yes,
trumpets?
do it.
Here we go. Trumpets. Yeah. Guess what? It's pick of the month time. Call blimey. Now, Rachel, do you want me to be a gracious host and offer it to you first, or would you rather one of us
Oh, one of
go?
you go for. Am I allowed to do anything, or does it have to be a comic?
No, literally anything that you've been
Oh,
enjoying.
Anything.
What
I've
is
been
good?
reading a good book. It's in my bag. Let me get it. This isn't like a video thing, is it? So
No.
me holding
No,
it up is gonna.
no,
Okay.
don't worry.
So it's an old book called by Gladys Mitchell, and it's called Nest of Vipers.
Oh,
And
Ooh.
it's this whodunit about like this this guy gets like unexpectedly gets given this big house in a will. And his sort of girlfriend fills it with writers because this guy is an aspiring writer. And one of them gets murdered, and they're still trying to. I've not finished it yet, but I'm really
Ooh.
enjoying it. It's yeah, it's quite sort of catty. Um, and the first sort of third of it is this guy writing his kind of memories of what's happened because he's been accused of the murder.
Okay.
ah,
but it doesn't look like he's done it. Or maybe he has. I don't know. And then it sort of switches narratives, which is quite unusual for books like these, I think. I don't know a huge deal about sort of vintage whodunits, but yeah, to sort of change narrator halfway through was quite exciting. And then you get the person who's trying to figure out who did it, and she's kind of going around interviewing people, and it's really nice to sort of meet the characters again under a completely different context.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just finding it really, really good. It's quite short as well. Which, I mean, I don't get a great deal of time at the moment for reading. I have a 2-year-old. So I kind of go into bookshops these days and choose them, based on if I can fit it in my many handbags. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Gladys Mitchell, but she's written so much as well. This is the first book I've read of hers, but like, yeah, so many. I mean, yeah, this is just every one of these is a
Cheek.
book. I'm just holding up the book, the page
Wow.
with all the with all her books on it. There's a whole page, and it's very small writing of all her books.
Wow.
But yeah, so Gladys Mitchell, I'll be working my way
I
through
was gonna say
through the
he'll be, he'll be sorted for at least the next 20 years.
and if they're all as short as this,
Yeah.
I'm very
Do you know when
very
it? Do you know when that
into that.
came out?
Oh yeah, it is vintage. Vintage Murder Mysteries is the sort of series. Um oh 1979,
Oh wow.
I think. Yeah, that's the copyright. Yeah, 1979, I think. But yeah,
Ooh.
really good if you fancy something a little bit different.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I do love a murder mystery, to be
Me
fair.
too.
And I've seen that this isn't my pick of the fortnight, although weirdly my pick of the fortnight is a murder mystery. Um,
Oh no, I'm going to be the odd one out.
I know. Ah. You got 5 minutes to go and think of one, Stace.
I
Um,
can't be asked to brain, so
because they're doing I think one of the first when I was a kid and I never finished watching it. They did an adaptation, I think with it was Agatha Christie. It was called Seven Dials. I think it was a Seven Dials mystery or something.
Mm.
And they did the TV adaptation when I was a kid. So I think it was like 70s, 80s or whatever. And I remember just being fascinated just by the title of it. And Netflix have now redone it, and it's coming out. I think it's coming out early next year. So I'm pretty excited about that. And you've got the new Knives Out. I do like those films as well.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I've never really read many murder mysteries until I can't remember if it was this year or last year. Every year I do a bookworm challenge for charity where it's like a month long sponsored readathon. And yeah, I can't remember if it was this year's or last year's where I was like scrabbling for books because I'd read most of my to read pile. So my hubby was like, yeah, I'll have this. And it was, and this is going to be the worst story ever because I can't remember the title or the writer, but it was the story. I think it's a Japanese guy, which is why the name has fallen out of my brain. That Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None is actually based on. Um,
Okay.
Ah.
and that was really good. I really liked that. It was one of those sort of like I've forgotten the word for it now, but you know those like closed room kind of mysteries where
Oh,
it's like how could
locked
any
room.
yeah, there you go. Like it's like how could anybody have possibly done this kind of thing. And it was really interesting. And if I've remembered or if I've looked it up after we finish recording, I'll put it in the blurb. I'll put it in the podcast show notes. But yeah, that's my limited experience with murder mysteries. But I have got the bookworm challenge coming up in March next
Nice.
year, so I'm going to need some more books. So I mean, it sounds like Gladys Mitchell's got me covered.
Yeah. You could do the whole month just on her.
Yeah.
I did. Oh, how many did I read this year? I think 16 books I read in a month.
Wow.
Which was like it was literally basically like any time I had a spare minute and I wasn't asleep, it was like, shut up, husband, I'm reading a book. um, which probably drives Witch crazy, but it's for charity. You can't bully me when it's for charity.
Did you
Can you?
get more money the more books you read?
Well, it depends because some of the people who sponsored me just gave me like a set amount, but my mum always does, depending on how many books I read, either £2 or £5 book. So I
Nice.
don't want to skint her out. You're saying that, yeah. Well, I think it was £2 this year because I read 16. She was like, "Yeah, I'm not giving you that. It's too many books. What are you doing?" But yeah, excellent. B, what's your pick of the month?
I'm gonna let you go next.
Oh, all right then. Well, so mine is going to be really weird, and people are going to be like, "Stacey's such a weirdo." I watched the first maybe 5 episodes of a new TV series called The Chair Company. Have you seen or heard?
I gotta say, if someone said to me I need to watch something called The Chair Company, I wouldn't sort of think, yeah.
So it will make more sense to you when I say, well, hopefully it will, unless you've never seen this either. But have you ever seen the comedy sketch show I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson? Oh no.
Sorry.
Okay, so Tim Robinson is a comedian who I absolutely adore because he is the king of what they call like cringe comedy, which is basically like just the world's most awkward man doing the world's most awkward things, and it's very funny. I absolutely love him. Yeah, you should. I think You Should Leave is on Netflix, I think, and like each episode's only like 20 minutes or something. So you should definitely give it a whirl. It is the kind of humour that if you aren't into it within the first episode, then you don't like Tim Robinson.
Okay.
Like it's that level of you'll either get it and you'll be on board, or you'll be like, why is this funny? Which actually, earlier this year, Tim Robinson had a movie out with Paul Rudd called Friendship. And a lot of the reviews for that from people who have never seen like Tim Robinson stuff before were like, what is funny about this?
Oh,
I
I saw a trailer for this.
yeah. It's
You
one of
could
my
probably
favourite movies of the year, but
okay,
again, it is because I love that style of comedy and I
yeah.
love the way that Tim Robinson delivers it. But yeah, it is very much a sort of like you either get it or you don't, and that's fine. This TV show is very much of the same ilk. So it's about a guy who he works for like a company that's building like a big mall somewhere. He's got quite a well-paid job. People respect him in the company. And then one day, when he's doing a presentation in front of like a lot of people, he sits down on a chair and it breaks, and he gets very embarrassed by falling over on stage in front of everyone. And from there, he tries to make a complaint to the chair company, and then from there, it just goes off into the most farcical like group of situations based around this chair company trying to stop him from investigating the goodness of their chairs. And it's mad. It's genuinely mad. It's the kind of thing as well where it's like it's kind of like real life, but slightly to the left. Like everybody in it is a little bit weird in some way, or a little bit awkward, or a little bit like you don't fully understand why they do what they do. Every episode, I think there's been a couple of episodes. We've watched all the episodes twice each because we think they're that funny. And there's been a couple of times when I've laughed so hard we've had to pause so that we don't miss any of the jokes because I'm laughing too hard. It's genuinely one of the most funny things I've ever seen. It doesn't make a lick of sense, really. I strongly suspect that by the end of the season, we'll all be like, what was that for? And that will be even funnier to me. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a Marmite thing. There's going to be a lot of people who watch that and they'll be like, what's wrong with Stace though? But it's a big recommend from me. I absolutely adore it. Yeah, The Chair Company. Beat that if you can be.
I was trying to think of a title where I could use table, but my mind's not quick enough. I haven't drunk enough prosecco and I couldn't think of anything.
Oh, quick, get it down, yeah.
No, I just kept coming up with the table show,
just
and it
table,
just
just
doesn't. It's not
no,
funny. It's just
no.
not funny. So Sorry, I'm still on the chair company.
Chair company. Just watch the trailer for it, is what I'll
Okay.
say.
Well,
After this, watch the trailer for it, and
I
then
will. I will watch the trailer, but I should preface this by saying I have watched the trailer for Friendship, and I watched that trailer, and I kind of was like,
what is
"What?
this? Yeah. That
This
is exactly
doesn't
the
seem like
reaction.
friendship to me."
That is exactly the reaction that most people would have, but I was like barely laughing at that film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So my pick of the fortnight. No, we're a monthly show now. My pick of the month is Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
Do either of you watch Only Murders in the Building? And
I do
if
not.
No, I've heard
if
of it. Sorry, I've no time. I don't know.
no, fair enough. Oh God, God, shame me now. No time. Not like you. Sorry.
If it makes you feel better, B, I've got bags of time. I just haven't.
Have you? I always find it so much easier when I sort of say like, yeah, so I really like this, and then everyone goes, oh yeah, I like that too. It means great. I don't have to tell anyone what it's about or anything like that. Everyone can just dive in. But now I've now got to do that.
You've
So
got to do the work.
I've now got
Sounds
to do the
bro.
work. Shit. To Wikipedia. So Only Murders in the Building is with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, and God, they've done. I think the season that was just out, I think, was season 5. And when this first came out on Disney, no one really knew about it. It was just a sort of little show, and it was, and basically what it is all three of them live in this sort of massive building in New York, and they're kind of quite lonely sort of people. Two of them are sort of, one of them is sort of like an ex-Broadway producer. Another one's a sort of, he had his own sort of TV show, but they're older now, so they don't have anything like that. And she's just a sort of lonely girl living in this building as well. And then there's a, and but they're sort of, they come together because they're both they're all fans of true crime podcasts.
Ah, okay.
Um, and then there's a murder in the building, and then they start to sort of look into it, and then they sort of go, well, we why don't we do our own podcast about the murder in the building? So they do that, and then obviously it they continue this, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I thought the first season was still, it's still my favorite, because again it's that thing where it's one of them shows where, because no one knows about it, they were able to, I think, to be, I don't know, more braver, take more risks with things. Like there was an entire episode where there was no dialogue because one of the characters is deaf, so it was all
Okay.
from his perspective.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So there was sign language and stuff like that. It was an absolutely brilliant episode. I can't remember if they got an Emmy for it or it got nominated. I don't know. Um, but as each season has gone on, they've gotten more and more ridiculously famous guest stars. I think
Right.
people have just queued up to kind of be on the show. And obviously, like Steve Martin and like Martin Short, they're like kind of household names in that sort of world, I guess. But like, if I read you some of the cast for season 5, so you had Tia Leone, we had Meryl Streep, um,
Oh wow.
Winnie Zellweger, uh, Cara Delevingne, I can never pronounce her name, Christoph Waltz, and pretty much every season is a kind of who's who. But what I kind of love is that even though the stars have gotten bigger, they they seem to kind of check their sort of privilege at the door, and they're just there to have fun doing the show.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It's a really really fun show, which sometimes is what I want. Sometimes I just need a break from the world's gone to hell in a handbasket, and I just want to, have a bit of fun and just enjoy myself. Which seems weird given it's a show about someone being murdered in a building.
That's how I always felt about Poker Face, though, to be honest. I'm like, oh, that
um,
shows a good laugh, isn't it? And there's a dead
ah,
person at the start every time.
it's a little bit like that,
Oh, okay.
except obviously Poker Face is more of a riff on Columbo.
Columbo, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's still a kind of harking back to them sort of shows. But
Mhm.
yeah, and it's just, yeah, it's really funny. And what I love is they've become like really good friends in real life. The sort of three
Oh, that's
main
nice.
characters. Because I think Steve Martin and Martin Short went to Selena Gomez's wedding. I think she got married
Oh.
this year or something. Yeah. And it's that thing when you watch something, C's always kind of like, I really hope they get on in real life. I really hope they're friends in real life. And I'm like, I don't really give a shit just so long as the show's good. But I mean, but yeah, so that's my pick.
Can I ask you a question about the podcast a bit?
Yes,
Because I always find it really funny when I'm watching some as somebody who does like more podcasts than is strictly
we're not doing
necessary.
a true crime podcast, Stace,
I
because
don't want to. I'm scared of true crime. I don't want to
yeah.
hear about real life terrors that occurred.
What if?
No,
What
what?
if
We need a
someone gets?
fake crime
What if
podcast.
someone gets murdered on a table and we have to investigate it? It could be murders on a table. Boom.
Boom.
I knew I'd
Well
get
done.
table gagging.
Well done, B. I always find that when I watch a program where somebody is a podcaster, it's like such a wildly different experience to how I do a podcast that I just find it really funny. It's only happened like twice, but the one that really got me was there was a show, and again, I've forgotten what it's called, that starred Adam Brody and the bird from The Good Place, because I've forgotten her name as well. Um, and her and her sister were doing a podcast in it, and they were like casually just like lounging on a sofa with like a microphone in their hand, just like chatting away. And in the first episode, they had a meeting with Spotify for like a multi-million-pound deal, and I was like, oh, this isn't podcasting as I know it. So I always find it funny when I'm like, oh, this is what everybody thinks podcasting is, and really it's just me squirreling away in front of a computer, like
Yeah.
trying to like send 33 threads a day to get one of them to click. Like, oh, help. So what's their podcast like? Is it good?
As in how they portray it in the show
Yeah,
type thing. I
yeah.
think so. Because you don't really see a lot of that, to be honest. But yeah, I think so. But I think what is quite funny is that Selena Gomez she's a sort of tech person. She sort of does the tech of it, and they
Mm.
don't really know what's going on. They just sort of rock up. And I sort of think, actually, no, that's pretty realistic because I mean, basically, Steve Martin is Dave. Just
Yeah.
actually, that's not true. Martin Short is. If you watch it, if you at least watch one episode, I will say Martin Short is Dave,
Now I
and
feel like I have to watch it.
yeah, and he just rocks up, and that's pretty much Dave. He just sort of rocks up, and I do all the kind of editing and the technically bits, and he does the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, speeches around it. The
Yeah.
drill,
The Dave of it all.
the
Yeah.
day, the Dave reel.
I think it's time for some more trumpets, eh?
Yes.
Extra, extra, geek all about it. It's geek all about it's news. We're going to do some news. I've only got one, Barry. So if you've got a lot, then maybe we'll do like a sandwich of news with me in the middle.
Okay. Why did
So
you?
what? What?
This
Sounds
isn't
like you
this
find
isn't a
ways to
carry on.
explain
I
that.
know. This isn't a carry on film.
You
This
know,
is a
I've never actually
podcast.
seen a Carry On film all the way through. I said that to my friend Lee the other day, and he almost lost his mind.
At what point do you give up?
Well, I don't. I think the thing is that I don't think I've ever sat down to watch one. So I've either caught a bit of the end of one as during channel flickery, or I've been like watching, I don't know, top 10 lads comedy moments,
Okay.
type videos, and been like, oh look, a joke about boobies, and then a pun based on, I don't know, a nurse and a penis, who knows.
I wouldn't say you're missing much. I think fine.
Yeah, I feel like I would have quite little patience for it, but
I don't feel the carry on films have probably aged quite well.
Yeah, probably not.
yeah, I imagine. Yeah. What's your news anyway, B?
uh,
Remember we were doing that segment about news?
yeah, segment about these, not about. They're rebooting Carry On starring Hugh Jackman. No, they're not.
Can you imagine? I'd watch that.
Yeah, I
I'm
bet
not
you
gonna
would.
lie.
So my first bit of these, because I am as an adult, I have rediscovered Lego. And I say that, I mean, I've still got two sets that are sitting there completely untouched, which is R2D2 and it's a Sherlock Holmes. Where Sherlock Holmes live? 22B Baker Street? Can't remember.
221B.
Yeah, but it's basically I don't know, I think they call it a diorama.
Oh, nice.
Um, so it's a kind of it's like that, but then you fold it to sort of like that, and it slides in between your books as
Oh, that's
well.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome in the trailer. It will look even better when I've built it and taken out the flipping box.
Oh dear.
But they are now doing a Star Trek Next Generation Enterprise Lego set, which looks phenomenal.
Nice.
I'm not sure when it's just looking to see if they've said when it's coming out. Oh, it is. It's launching November the 28th.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
nice.
for the princely sum, I don't know what this works out to be in pounds of Jesus, 400 quid.
See, one of the many reasons I haven't gotten into Lego is because it's very expensive. And I feel
mm.
like that's actually a really good thing because it could be dangerous for me if Lego
Yeah,
was relatively cheap.
yeah. Or sorry, $400, but that's I don't know what's that, 350 quid?
Oh,
A
yeah,
lot.
somewhere in there. Yeah, yeah.
Um, to be fair, I tend to wait. So when Sue got me the Yoda, which I'm looking at, who is lovely. Um, I think she waited until it all come down
Mm,
and it was like on a sale and stuff like that. Because yeah, I mean, 350 quid, that's too rich for my blood.
yeah, yeah. And also, like, there's so much Lego as well that, I mean, like,
There
just the
is.
idea of trying to, because you want to display it once you've made it. You don't want to take it apart and put it back in the box. But like, where does one put all of their Lego? Get a whole separate room
I
just for it
know.
says the girl with the big turtles disc, but don't look directly at that. It's fine. Uh,
Like,
just no, nothing to see. Nothing to see here.
but that's why you've got no space because you've just
Mm,
got all of that stuff.
just turtles everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good though, aren't they? Anyway, cool. Lego. Do you want to hear my little bit of news?
Go on.
So it's a trailer, which technically isn't really news, but the trailer was for a movie that was news to me, which is why I wanted to bring it up.
I bet I
Did
know what
you
this is.
go on? What is it then?
Um, is it something strange?
No,
Okay. It's not Stranger Things then.
it's not. No,
Oh, okay.
I couldn't
Shit.
really, I couldn't really care less about that, but I'm gonna
Oh,
watch it because I have to because I've seen all the other seasons and it's the last one. No, it's a trailer for a film that I didn't know they were making, which is a Michael Jackson biopic. Have you seen this trailer, perchance?
No.
I knew. I thought it. I thought it was a wind up because I saw some photos this week and it was like Michael Jackson biopic. I was like, yeah, no, they're not doing that, are they?
No, they are. So
Oh,
here's the thing, right? I watched the trailer because I didn't know this was now. I'm going to preface this by saying that obviously Michael Jackson is an extremely problematic man. But when I was a kid and before I knew about all the allegations,
Mm.
he was Tiny Stace Bob's entire world. Like I was literally a card carrying member of the fan club. I watched our video of Thriller and the making of Thriller until we ruined it and had to buy another copy twice. Just full blown, absolutely obsessed with his music. Like it just, and I think Michael Jackson as well shaped me. Like his music shaped me as a person because he's the reason I'm into horror. Like watching the behind the scenes of the like werewolf transformation on Thriller is why I got into like things like An American Werewolf in London, and that's where my love of horror came from. And he's also why I love dance and like musical theatre and like all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, suffice to say, Michael Jackson meant a lot to me. And then, oh boy, But then he died, so I'm allowed to listen to his music again because he can't benefit from it anymore. Well, hey. But I don't know how I feel about about this biopic because, for a start, the guy playing Michael is actually his nephew, Jafar Jackson, I think. And
Oh.
well, they only show him talking once in the trailer, and it feels like he's doing a voice, and it doesn't. Oh no, it doesn't sound good. And also, I'm worried about how they're going to present, because you can't just do a Michael Jackson biopic where you just show him like in recording studios and making music videos and doing live shows because so much footage of that already exists. It's entirely pointless to do. But similarly, I can't see them like going into like his family life and how much of an arsehole his dad was, or like any of the like super controversial stuff. So I don't know what this film like really is. And I'm so baffled by it. I just really don't know what to think of it. Coleman Domingo is playing his dad, and I love him, but I'm like, I just don't know. So yeah, that was the news to me. That I was like, if that had been coming out when I was like full blown in my Michael Jackson, like I've got a bad bed set on my bed levels, I would have probably been running around screaming. But as it is, it just came out now, and I was like, I feel like this is going to be like weirdly sanitized, and like it doesn't make sense to me to be showing footage of somebody else doing Michael Jackson's like performances when there's so much footage of that. You could just make a documentary, couldn't you? And I don't know. It's also made by some of the same people that did Bohemian Rhapsody, which I haven't seen, but has been like universally panned by people I know who like Queen. So, so yeah, interesting thing on the horizon. It's coming out in April next year, apparently.
Who is it for then, do you think?
Well, this is the thing, I don't know, because I feel like anybody who's like a really big Michael Jackson fan is not going to care for somebody else, performing around as him. But similarly, if you're not that big of a Michael Jackson fan, what are you going to get from it? do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm intrigued to see it, but more in a sort of way of like, what on earth is this film even gonna be? So yeah, there you go. Fun little what is that for you?
Yeah.
Wow.
You should watch the trailer just so you can see what I mean by his voice, because
Okay.
Right, have you got some more news for us, Bill?
I'll do one more bit of news and then we will get to Rachel, because what
Sweet.
I don't want to do is keep rambling on. So he says, I'm just trying to find. So apparently, one I'd completely forgotten there's a new Avatar film,
Oh yeah.
because that's what the world needs, which is coming out next month. But supposedly the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday is going to come out with it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
So, yeah, I'm interested in Avengers Doomsday. I'm a bit torn about it, so I'm interested to see a trailer for it, just to see how they're gonna.
Where it's going to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reticent to say anything about Avengers Doomsday because I'm on record on many podcasts going, oh, I don't know how I feel about this, about most Marvel movies, and then being like, hey, that's one of the best films I've ever fucking seen after I've seen it. And I always end up feeling very silly. But here I am about to say some words that I'll probably have to eat again later. But I am worried about Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom for various reasons. And so I'm kind of itching to see a trailer to see if I can get a hint of where that is so that I can like stop. Not that I'm worried about it, do you know what I mean? It's only a film, but you know, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to know where they're going with that because it just felt very fan servicey at the time that they announced it. And I don't want it to be fan servicey. I want it to be, good. So yeah. Oh, does that mean it'll come out? So the trailer will probably come out a week or so after the film, wouldn't it? So that people get a chance to like
Go to
take
the
it
film.
in the
Yeah.
cinemas. Yeah,
Or they'll do a they'll drop it in the cinema and then they'll drop it online at the same time, maybe, because otherwise you'll get a load of people that will go in and film it and then stream it online.
yeah, and it'll look
Um,
like crap.
yeah, I mean, bless those people. I have enough trouble just going into the cinema now to sit and watch a film, let alone that I'm going to go in with a phone like that. Just like, I'm just not that dedicated. Maybe it's an old age thing. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Any thoughts, Rachel? No thoughts?
Um, I could give or take the Marvel films. Sorry. I'm
That's a
good.
very valid opinion, to be
Yeah.
fair.
There's too many of them now.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
I've watched a couple of them. But yeah, I'm good.
I feel like Avengers Doomsday is very much going to be one that you'll need to have seen a lot of the other things because it seems like every man and his dog's going to be in it. So
Right.
it's definitely going to be like, here's a fan moment for you. This is why I'm worried about it, you see, because I think that can be done very well, like in Spider-Man No Way Home when they brought in the other Spider-Men. It was like
Mm.
relevant to the story and good
Yeah.
and it served a purpose. What I don't want is for it to just be like, this guy's here. Do you remember this guy? And then it's
Yeah.
like, hello, it's me. I'm here. And then they've
Mhm.
disappeared and you're like,
It's
uh,
like it's Captain America doing jazz hands. It's like, hey.
he just does like a Charleston around the back of the and then disappears. Yeah, no, it'd be weird.
I would really like to see I don't want to see like superhero films go away completely. Because obviously being that kind of old kid, I remember a time um where like you really struggled to get anything like that. So I
Mhm.
don't necessarily want it to completely go, but I'd really like, and we did go through a phase where they were doing these sorts of things. I'd like it to shift back to um, adapting comics that people don't necessarily know about that aren't superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like back in the day when they were doing things like Road to Perdition, or like History of Violence or things like that, or even, God, dare I say, like 300 is probably not the best of examples. But do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Because I think when we were going through that phase, it was far easier to sort of say to people that like comics are a medium, comics aren't just um
Tights. Yeah.
it isn't just Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Mm.
You know, it's a wide range of you can tell any story in comics, and I think that's not. I think we've moved away from that in terms of when they're doing the adaptations.
There's
Mm.
quite a lot of good TV shows being made out of comics at the moment. I don't know if you've been watching Revival. And also, I think there's Something Killing the Children has just been optioned for a TV series, which I'm very excited about because that's a good comic. Um, if you haven't read it, give that a whirl.
Oh, okay. Because I know they did because Dave in the episode that I forgot to record, um, Dave,
Rest in
Dave
peace.
Dave was raving about paper. Is it Paper Girls?
Paper Girls,
Mm.
yeah.
Now I've recently read paper. Must be about 2 months ago. They dropped all of the Paper Girl trades on Kindle Unlimited,
Mm,
and I was kind of like,
Mm.
oh, I'll give it a go. And then I just
it's
blitzed it.
so good.
I literally just did not move, and I just read it all. And
It's really good.
yeah, it was so good. And then David said, like, he said, did you know they did a TV series? I was like, did they? He was like, yeah, but they cancelled it after one season. And he was like, but it's a
Yeah,
real shame, he said, because that season was really good.
it really
Mm.
Um,
was.
but I've never seen it. But the comic I thought was it was phenomenal. It wasn't what I was expecting. I genuinely, because I'd heard a little bit about it, I went into it thinking, oh, this is going to be a bit Stranger Things, isn't it? And it really wasn't.
Mm.
Mm.
It was probably more like a crazy sort of Back to the Future type deal with I don't know. I couldn't. To be honest, I couldn't even really describe it to anyone other than
Mm.
like just go and read it. It's really good.
Mm.
Yeah, Cliff Chang does like, oh God, his artwork is just
Oh,
one of my favorite comic artists. Just absolutely, like, I think I've said this before on a podcast that like the greatest compliment I can ever give to a comic is if I want to eat it. And any comic that Cliff Chang draws, I want to eat because it looks delicious. Like it just looks so delicious.
Wow.
Nom, nom, nom. Yeah, yeah.
maybe he could put that on the back of like a review.
Imagine.
I'd like to
I'd look
eat
like
this
a
comic,
nutter.
Stace.
Stace and Barry in the morning.
Brilliant. Right, that's enough
Right,
news.
enough news. Do you want some more trumpets?
Yeah, why not? Trumpet me.
Uh, jazz.
Oh,
There we go.
jazzy one.
One day I'm going to bust out an actual trumpet.
That
Can
would be
you imagine?
amazing. Been having secret lessons all this time.
Honestly, if you ever did that, I would lose my shit. I would genuinely lose my shit. I'd be so excited.
The only instrument I've got in this room is an ocarina that I can't play.
Okay.
So, sorry. Not today.
Okay. It's something to shoot for,
Mhm.
what I say.
Mhm.
Yes, so back on target.
Back on track.
So we are here with Rachel, and
Hi.
I realised that when we did the intro, we said hi Rachel, and I think I said something about you being professional, and we went in the whole tangent and didn't even say what it is you do or why you're here or anything like that, because obviously we are professional podcasters and know exactly what we're doing.
Mhm.
Um, so we're going to do that now. Well, I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Hi. It's made me really nervous now because your listeners all have just been sitting there throughout the whole show going, oh, yeah, but why is this weird woman here as well? What's she doing? Um, my name's Rachael Smith. I'm a comic creator, known, I think, mainly for my autobiographical stuff. Like, I have books called Wired Up Wrong and Stand in Your Power and Glass Half Empty and Quarantine Comics, all about me and how my brain doesn't work properly. But I've also made up stories like The Rabbit and Isabella and Bloodwin and things like that. I've recently had a book out with Paul Cornell called Who Killed Nessie, which was a lot of fun. Another whodunit for the collection
There's a theme.
on this podcast. But yeah, I'm kind of here mainly to talk about Nap Comix, which is another autobiographical project I started when my son was very young. He's nearly 3 now, which is
Wow,
terrifying.
that's
You'll
madness.
see him at Thought Bubble, Barry.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yay.
madness.
I know. He's like a real person now. We can have
Yeah.
Does he
a
know
whole
he's famous?
conversation. Does he know what?
Does he know that he's famous?
I mean, he acts like he is. So, um, so yeah, I started Nap Comics when Henry was about 4 months old, just to kind of document the trials and tribulations of being a new mum and dealing with that kind of shift in my life. Because I think autobiographical comics have always been how I've made sense of the world around me and
Mhm.
my place in it, I think. It's how I've sort of uh processed information, if you like.
Yeah.
If I can put it in a comic, it means I understand it enough to make a concise little story about it. So yeah, I did these comics quite did I used to do them once a day? No, that sounds insane. I've
It
nowadays
felt
I
like
do
you did
them.
them once a day.
Did I?
It felt like because it felt, and I sort of I kept thinking like, how is she doing this?
I do them 3 times a week nowadays.
Okay.
And people talk to me saying, "Oh yeah, your daily comics." So I'm like, okay, well, if it feels like I'm doing them every day, then that's fine.
Don't spoil it for people.
Um, and yeah, they've kind of documented everything, the good, the bad, the wonderful, the difficult. And people have really related to them. So recently I launched a Kickstarter to try and get them made into a book. And the Kickstarter funded in 2 days.
I know.
Wow.
It did very well.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. So we're ooching on to that first stretch goal now, which is will at 18,000 at 8,000 we'll be able to make the book a little bit more fancy with some spot varnish and things like that. So yeah, it's looking like we'll probably make that at least. So I'm very, very lucky. I have some
Well,
great fans.
I think, I mean, I've spoken to over the years, I've spoken to a few people that have done Kickstarters, and the one unifying thread is the amount of work that goes into doing a Kickstarter. And I think
Mm,
unless you've either spoken to people who've done Kickstarters or you've actually done the Kickstarter yourself, I don't think you realize just the level of work that goes into before the
yeah,
Kickstarter even comes out.
for sure.
I think
Mm,
people see a Kickstarter and then they see like, like yourself, like 2 days it's funded and people sort of go, oh wow, that must be really easy. I just bang out a Kickstarter.
yeah.
But I know the level of sort of not hyping you have to do, but doing interviews, getting the word out, setting up the physical space for your Kickstarter. So I think the question I wanted to ask was like, how much work did you need to put into the Kickstarter before you launched it?
Well, I made, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called now. It's like a pre-launch page
Yeah,
where it's essentially you give a little bit of information about the project and people can go and put their email address in and then Kickstarter will email them when it launches. And that's a really nice sort of call to action. But it's kind of you can just do this, but you don't have to uh, you,
yeah,
you don't have to pay anything, you don't have to promise anything. And that was really useful for me, I think. Also, it was really great for me in that I had a lot of followers of the webcomic. So Nap Comix is a webcomic on Webtoon. Um, and I have a lot of people that read it on there. I know a lot of people that read it on socials like Instagram and things like that. And after the comic, I would always put a little advert saying, "Hey, this is coming soon. Like, please, please put your email address in here, and you'll get to know before anyone else." And I think that's really helped me because, in a way, I've kind of built the audience for the Kickstarter already from doing
yeah,
the webcomic. Um, because a lot of people do still want books as physical books,
Mm.
even though, the webcomics are amazing and very really easy to read and free to read and everything. But if there's something I really like, I always want it in a book form. So I was hoping people would want that too. Um, but yeah, there was a lot of planning on like how I wanted to keep this one really, really simple. I wanted to keep the reward tiers really simple and then just have a few add-ons.
yeah,
Uh, so like there's only 3 reward tiers to choose from. You can get the digital copy of the book, or you can get the physical copy of the book, or you can get the physical copy of the book signed and sketched in. And then you can add on things like I've got a couple of little prints and you can add a commission if you want and things like that. Like I've just tried to keep it really, really
yeah,
simple just because I know my brain can't really handle really complicated packages for people. And it's just going to be me sending things out as well. So
yeah.
I didn't want to have to
I
do anything too complicated.
And it's a lot because I remember it wasn't a Kickstarter, but I did a for my last book. I did like a special. It was a pre-order thing, and people would get a hardback edition, and I put extras in and stuff like that. And I remember, and if she ever listens to it, it will be a massive thanks to my wife Sue, because I can't rap for shit. I can't. I can't. When we do Christmas presents, she just gives me a really kind of sad look as a kind of like, well, at least you tried.
Oh,
Whereas she is an absolutely amazing rapper. I feel like she goes off at some point during December to go to North Pole and like help the elves and shit. Because yeah, so she rapped all of them, and it took ages and ages. Then you got to get to the post office to get more of that. So
mm,
I feel your pain and I understand the sort of just keep it simple.
hmm.
But I've been following Nap Comics. But I've loved your stuff for ages anyway, and I think it's doing autobiographical stuff. I think is really hard and really quite brave actually because um I put myself into my writing, but I do it in a very disguised way. So so that people don't know. So I think to put yourself out there and to tell your story and do it in a kind of raw and honest way. And at the same time, I think one of the things with your stuff is your stuff always, even the strips which are a bit kind of more emotional led, shall we say, still end with a sort of sliver of hope. And I always kind of love that about your stuff. But so I think one of the questions I wanted to ask was kind of like, how do you decide what's going to go in one of your strips?
Yeah, I've had a couple of people ask me that, and I don't really have an answer. I think I it's just case by case, I think. I don't think I've ever got to the point where I've written a strip and then gone, oh no, I can't draw that. I think it must just, in my brain, I must just go, no, don't, don't do that. I don't know. It's tricky. I my mum would say I give too much of myself away. She would say I'm too honest about my life and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I don't feel like I am because every time I get to that point and I'm like, oh, maybe that was a bit much, I get people telling me that it's helped them
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I'm,
This this is what one of the things I was going to ask you about because I am also somebody whose brain doesn't brain the correct way,
mm,
and also who shares entirely too much. And one of the questions I was going to ask you about was because, like, obviously, I've followed the comics for a while as well,
mm,
and I do think I personally think if it is safe for you to do so and you feel comfortable to do so,
mm.
it's so brilliant to be open because even if you have an impact on one single person, that's like, do you know what I mean? That to me is like why you share
Yeah,
those things.
that's
But
so
I have
true.
had pushback in the past from other people so I was wondering if that's ever come up in the comics, if you've ever had somebody say, like, you can't include that because it involves me, or vice versa, like, can I be in when do I get to be in your comic?
Yeah, more the latter, more.
Yeah.
Especially when I was doing the web comics very early on. Um, excuse me. Um, where I was just trying to, I had a project called One Good Thing, where I would just draw something positive that happened to me every day. And I had folks who would hang out with me and like say funny things to me, and then be like, "Huh? Huh? That was that was a nice part of your day,
Wink.
wasn't it? Huh?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, I see what you're doing.
You
I
can
thought you
use
were
that
just
free of
enjoying my
charge.
company. You just want to get a free drawing of yourself."
That's amazing.
But no, I've not certainly with Nap Comics, I've never had anyone say, "Oh, you maybe shouldn't um
Mm.
publish that." Which I thought with Nap Comics I'd get a bit more because people tend to be a bit more what's the word? Kind of knee-jerky with stuff that involves children, I guess.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Um, which is fair enough. You know, maybe they've had bad experiences with putting stuff online about their kids. I mean, we don't put any photographs of Henry online or any videos or anything like that. And that's kind of where we draw the line. And
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
I feel a little bit more free to make the comics about him. Um, but yeah, I And like, as soon as he asks me to stop making comics, I super duper will, by the way. But hopefully it won't get that far. Hopefully I'll stop before then. But yeah, he's like at university, like, Mom,
Mom,
stop
quit.
it.
I can't do any more poo jakes.
I know, yeah.
He's having quite a good run on poo jakes at the moment, I feel as well.
I could run on what, sorry?
Poo jakes.
Oh yes, yes. It's very poo and wee jokes
Yeah.
around here at the minute.
I think all kids go through that phase, don't they? I
Mm.
remember when my niece was 4, she was obsessed with wishing me Merry Pumas. It didn't matter what time of year it was, whether it
That's
was near
great.
Christmas or not, but it was always time for a Merry Pumas.
That's a great line.
Kids are amazing, aren't they?
They are. They are.
Ridiculous tiny humans. No, I think like Barry was saying, in terms of like doing an autobiographical comic, I'd also think it's extremely brave. And I think particularly doing one about parenting, because lots of people have lots of opinions on parenting. And as a childless by choice person,
Mm.
I always take a back seat during those. But here's the thing, right? I might not have kids of my own, but I have been parented, and so
Yeah.
so I still have some opinions of my own, to be honest. But I think it's really nice that you're not afraid to show, like Barry was saying, those times when it's hard or it's a bit messy,
Yeah.
because I think there is this thing where, particularly women, but parents generally can be shamed for like ever saying that it's hard, because people will be like, "Oh, why did you have kids then?" Like, "Ugh." And it's like, well,
Yeah.
like, why does anybody do anything? Sometimes it's
Yeah.
hard, but there's still rewarding things to go
Mm.
along with it, isn't it? Um, is it, in terms of like the obviously you've said you'd stop doing it if he ever turned around to you and said, "Mom, give it up," yeah. But is there a sort of point that you think, you'll stop needing to process it in that way, or is it more for other people now, or is it still sort of helping you out?
Um, I still find it very helpful.
Mm.
I always said I would stop it when he stops napping, when Henry stops napping, because then it won't be Nap Comics anymore. But then maybe it'll become something else. I don't know, or maybe
Mhm.
it'll just become a bit more sporadic, because I'll have a bit less time to do them because he's not napping in the day. But um, yeah, It's interesting you say whether I'll need to do it. No one's ever asked it me in that way before. Um, yeah, it does help me, I think.
Mhm.
Um, kind of put things into perspective a little bit. Um, yeah, I I think I think I'll always want to make autobiographical comics in one
Mhm.
way or another. It just depends how the sort of timings work out. But yeah, maybe I'll
Yeah.
I'll take a break after Nap Comics maybe and come back to something like that in the future.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, so what you may have already answered that question, because obviously you do, or you have done full length comics. Like you said, you've just brought out the Nessie one.
Hmm.
Um, do you have a preference between doing like a sort of self-contained story comic as opposed to doing your autobiographical comics?
I really like having different projects on the go because if I get stuck with one of them, I can do the other one. And it just kind of, I don't know, using those like slightly different storytelling muscles sometimes shakes the tree of the other one, if you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I really like the very different um aspects of them. So I do like it when I've got more than one on. I don't really have a preference.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like both of them.
So to round us up, so you're going to be at Thought Bubble
I
next
will.
week.
Yeah.
So Well, I was going to say I had a question about football, but this is probably a bit more of a general question. But obviously, you've been in the comic scene now for quite some years.
Mm.
Um,
Let's not work out how many.
no, let's not. But I think it's a case of mutually assured destruction. So let's not. Um, uh, so how would you? Because it feels like a really big question, but I want to sort of say, how do you think the indie scene, especially the indie comic scene, is now compared to when you started?
That is a really big question.
I
That is a
know,
really big
I know.
question.
I'm trying to think of a way to sort of narrow
Bringing out
it,
the big
but
guns.
I know.
In some ways, very, very similar in that the way I got my start was by going to Comic Cons
Mhm.
and selling my little zines and talking to people. And that is still a completely viable way to get started. People at Comic Cons are usually very, very friendly and will be happy to give you advice. If they can't talk to you right away, they're usually happy to give you a business card or something for you to email them. They're usually happy to take a zine and give you a little bit of you know, advice on it. The thing that is completely different nowadays is the internet. Like I don't really understand social media anymore. I'm sure young people do,
No, not
and
Yeah,
that's
just a.
great. But the only thing I know about it is that it's completely different from when I started. And I think it's more difficult to be visible online these days because there's a lot more people doing it, which
yeah,
is good in a way, but also it is difficult to kind of float to the top and get noticed. So that's when I would say going to conventions and talking to actual people in like face to face is really a really good thing to do. But yeah, it's that kind of
no, I think no,
yeah.
I do think that is good because as I said before we started recording, that I'd done a book fair
Mm,
a couple of weeks ago, and that was what I found was the sort of meeting and talking to people, not just the people who were buying stuff, but also
mm.
the other creators there, and kind of, which is one of the reasons I do like going to football because I always come away with a bit of a, I must write, I must do something
Yeah,
when
it's
you
so
know.
inspiring.
Yeah, it really is. It
Mm,
really is to sort of realize that you're not alone in what you're doing.
mm,
But you are right. I think that there's just so many people doing
mm.
that I do think it is really difficult to get yourself noticed in whatever creative endeavor you do. Even like with podcasts now,
Mm.
like the days of walking up to someone and saying you do a podcast, can I talk to you about your comic, and them going, what's a podcast? Which is what I had, is long gone. But yeah, I was just interested just to get your take on it, just because you're a kind of constant presence in the indie scene in a way that I think I'm not necessarily anymore these days. And I just was interested to get your take on it. And I think that's a very valid take that actually, when social media first sort of got going, got its sea legs, I think if you had a lot of followers, I don't even like that term, but if you had a lot of followers, that did tend to equate to sales.
Mm.
Mhm.
People were genuinely more interested in what you were doing and what you were putting out there. It was less of a kind of like just a click, just I'll just follow them. I'm never going to look at their stuff, but I'll just follow them.
Mm.
That I think it is now. So now that whole concept of like, I've got 10,000 followers, that's great, but I don't really think that's going to equate to.
How many of them have you actually ever talked to?
And how many of them, if
Mm.
if if you're doing it to kind of promote your comic or whatever it is, or sell your comic, how many of them are actually gonna buy your comic or
Yeah.
even help promote your comic? And the answer is probably not as many as you think.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a little bit worrying these days because I think a lot of publishers are looking at those sorts of numbers
Yeah.
and using those to decide whether they want to take someone on or not. And really a really rubbish way of deciding because
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah, someone who's good at social media doesn't equate to how good their writing is, you know.
yeah.
I don't know. Publishers these days want us to do a lot of the work for them. They want to know that we've got an audience already waiting,
Mm.
which is sometimes why we go for Kickstarter instead, occasionally, because we're just like, well, I could just do it myself then.
Yeah, yeah. That does seem
But
to happen a lot now, doesn't it? There seems to be a lot more where one, you've got to have a following, and two, you kind of realize that even though they may be publishing your book or your comic, that you sort of think there's this kind of whole marketing team that's just gonna like take it all and just go off and do it all. But
mm,
you find actually that you end up doing a hell of a lot of the marketing yourself.
yeah, yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, obviously publishers do help with a lot of that, but it gets to the point where sometimes it's a bit like, well, I've already got this all set up. I might as well just give it a
Just
bash
yeah.
myself. So, Nap Comics just felt like a good project to have a go with myself. I
And
mean,
it could
talk to me in like a month or so when I'm packaging
knee deep.
packaging books.
That would be your
I'll be
next.
like,
That would be your next web
this is
comic.
rubbish.
Would just be rapping with Rachel. She's just rapping. Well, my last question, which is, where can people find out more about your work and the Kickstarter?
You can go to tinyurl.com/Nap Comix KS. That's a rubbish way of saying it. tinyurl.com/NAPCOMIXKS. Or just go to Kickstarter and search Nap Comics with an X.
We can put
Um,
this link in the show notes as well.
Thanks, that would be helpful. It's a rubbish
No,
link
I
to
just wanted
say
you to
out loud
squirm.
with your mouth.
That's right.
I'm also on rachelsmith.org, is my website. And yeah, I'm on Blue Sky and Instagram and stuff, which I think you can get to from my website. So,
And what will you be bringing to Football next week?
I'll have some Who Killed Nessies. I'll
Oh,
have some quarantine comics and Wide Up Wrongs and Stand in Your Powers. I don't know if I'll have any Glass Half Empties, but I'll have some stuff. And if you've pledged to the Kickstarter, I'll have free sketches that you can choose from.
nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So even if you just come to my table and pledge at my table, you can take one.
Uh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. But yeah, I've got the sketches are really fun. I had a lot of fun doing them. There's some Pokemon, there's some Neopets, if you remember those.
I
There's
Wow.
do.
some like Richard Scarry characters. There's some Halloween type things, some ghosts and some pumpkins. So just some cute animals in there. Yeah. Just come and have a look if you want. It's fine. No.
Well, I will make sure I swing by
Oh,
anyway.
you're all giving me
Oh,
thought
thanks.
bubble envy.
Oh, why don't you just come?
I'm too poor. I'm saving
Oh,
to move to buy a house. It's very grown
oh,
up of me and I don't like it.
that is
But
very grown up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do hate this house, so that is giving me the motivation to actually, knuckle down and save.
Oh, fair enough.
Right, well, I think that was an episode of Stace and Barry in the morning, wasn't it?
I
Good
think it
luck
was.
editing that, Barry. Folks, if you would like to get in touch with any of us, you can send an email to staceandbarry@gmail.com. You can follow us on most of the socials at Geek Syndicate, at Stacey's Parlour, and don't forget to go and do a pledge, tinyurl.com/napcomicsks, and have a tippity top November. Fireworks night has already happened, but if you've got fireworks this weekend, be safe with them, please. nutters here in Birmingham were shooting them at each other, and I'm like,
Oh,
why are we? What is
golly.
this? What is this now? We're all grown
Yeah.
ups. Stop it. Quit it. Be safe. Be kind to one another. Have a lovely, jubbly knitwear season. And I love you. Goodbye.
Bye all.
Bye.